Um, Your office is fabulous, by the way. Thank you very much for, you've got great staff there. After our second conversation that I had, I started thinking about a lot of different things. The influx of traffic that we've got in Nassau County now, most especially from the bridge all the way out towards I-95. The irregular traffic patterns that we're going to be playing with for the next 60-plus months. And then I started thinking about school buses, and I actually followed one around day before yesterday. 2 reasons. I wanted to stay out of my office for another 30 minutes, plus it was kind of fun to see what they were doing. But the school buses really haven't changed a whole lot, since I've been riding the school bus. Every now still comes out the lights. So it's not putting you on the spot. I'm positive that we follow up underneath all the FDOT regulations and all the things that we're required to do. But I started thinking, is there something more? Is there something that perhaps you could share with us that you've seen? Maybe it's LED lights on the bus, perhaps it's reflexite patterns that a study's been done.
Well, all the new ones have LED lights, the newer ones.
Okay.
For the last 5 years maybe, and then we put the reflector tape around the doors, down the sides.
Right.
They're 10 feet tall and 35 feet long and 9 feet wide.
Yeah,
Reflectors are big lights,
right.
And they're yellow.
Sure.
People still hit them, as I'm sure most of you have heard this week.
Right.
The only thing, and as far as Supreme Court is deemed it unconstitutional, it kind of falls in with traffic cameras. But cameras are available, although they're not in Florida, for stop arm violations. We'll take a picture of the tags and stuff like that. That's about the only,
Okay.
and it gets them coming and going. And, but the court's issue with that is, are you driving your car or are you not driving your car?
Sure. Well, my thoughts just went to the safety aspect of it, and, unfortunate as it is, the 3 accidents this week were all, it wasn't the school bus driver's fault,
Right.
but, I'm thinking out loud and just wondering if there are other things that you might have ideas
Well,
on.
we have a summer symposium every year, and it's not in San Antonio where Dr. Jones is one. I just thought I want to get in a plug for Dr. Drew. She's going to be making a presentation at one of our general sessions about our new behavioral plan that we've implemented this year, and it's really made a big difference. Of course, we still have discipline issues on the bus, but it has reduced our referrals about 30%, if I remember. So she's going to make a presentation as far as that goes. But we have at that summer symposium all the vendors, mainly the bus. We have 3 bus suppliers,
Right.
but all the accessory suppliers and all these, all the that have safety stuff.
Sure.
There may be something new there because they're always developing. And you say it's basically like the one you rode, but they're not basically like the one you rode.
Well, I'm sure.
They look
condition now, sure.
But they're,
Just thinking out loud, and I know there's not one person in this room that want our children safe, and if there's anything out there, I know in my heart, you will bring it to us, and additional tools or resources or whatever. And I guess after my second talk with Amy this week, I got to thinking, I was actually in traffic on State Road 200 while we were on the phone, and
plus you followed the rules.
oh, they did excellent. Yeah, they did excellent. Served the purpose times too, so it worked all good.
Very good.
But that was my thoughts.
And we always keep our eyes open. Of course, some of the things that you could do with school buses are so cost prohibitive. We never want to put cost on the lives of our students. But you could spend billions of dollars and we still not make it. Parents especially call me all the time, and everybody wants the bus stop at their house, and they say, well, that's a unsafe bus stop. And I tell them, you're right, every bus stop is unsafe. You have students standing next to a highway or a road.
Right.
You have a stopped school bus. You have traffic going at least in both directions and sometimes from the sides. So, every school bus stop is unsafe. It's our job to make it as safe as possible. which is what we're trying to do.
You do a great job at that. I had no idea there was that many moving parts. Is the, one of the transportation part of component of
Yeah,
a school district.
we've got an interesting week this week. And in all fairness, we got hit 3 times, but then on 1st of March, we hit one too, so we're not perfect either.
Well, you know, again, accidents are accidents,
Sure.
and I think that where we live and the traffic that we're fighting is not going to get any better, and we're plagued by several components there that we can't negate. But at any rate, thank you very much, and
Thank y'all for
I'm
asking.
positive that if there was something new or innovative, that
I'll bring it to you.
please do.
I can't help but wonder, I'm sorry, go ahead. I can't help but wonder if we could partner with the sheriff and see if there's some kind of public awareness program that we could.
We could do that, and a lot of people aren't aware of this because we try not to make them aware of this, but we have ride-alongs with the sheriff's department. I mean, they ride with us, and I don't know if you know Lieutenant Private, now Lieutenant Graham. She rides incognito, and like she's a trainee bus driver, but she has her radio, and then we have deputies stationed in particular troublesome areas, and we've caught quite a few stop arm violators. We do a nationwide survey every year about stop arm violations. We've been doing it about 6 years. We average, just on this one particular day in April when we do it, we average 42 stop arm violations in Nassau County.
In one day?
In that one day, and 4 of them, average, is on the passenger side, running off the road where the kids are getting off to pass.
So
that's a big
clearly
problem.
a public awareness
Yeah,
type campaign.
And I'm sure the sheriff would be more than happy to. And we will, I'm not sure when our Nassau traffic safety team meeting is, but I'll see if we can't do something there.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Dr. Burns?
And this is just a side question to that. What about drivers? How are we on drivers now? How many positions do we have in field, substitutes that we're using?
We are short for several reasons. Number one, the economy has improved a little bit, and when the economy improves and unemployment goes down, school bus drivers get harder to find. And it's not Nassau County, it's statewide, nationwide, and school bus drivers are always difficult to get because you have to train them. I tell the principals all the time when they call me racing for sand about not being able to do something they want done. But, you know, a school bus driver, even if they're one that's on call, has to be just as trained and just as qualified as one that's been here 30 years and making pretty good money at it. And I tell them, you know, if every substitute teacher you had to be a fully certified teacher, you'd see how difficult that is. And I say, yeah. They're hard to find. We train them. If we have 8 in a class, we may get 3 out of it. And, you know, if you put yourself on a school bus with 77 students behind you and going through the construction there in Yulee, you can see why they're hard to get. But the ones we get, we don't put up with any, as Mr. Young was saying, we don't put up with any unsafe practices. If we see a driver being unsafe, they're not there any longer, which people say, you have such a hard time getting school bus drivers, why do you fire so many of them? That's why. But everybody in the office can drive. You know, this time of year, I think it's a season for everything except football and basketball. I mean, you got softball, baseball, track, hockey, tennis, and you got them in high schools, you got them in middle schools, and you got day trips with elementary schools. But it's so like I said, everybody in the office can drive and has been driving almost every day, except for the man who has to stay behind and listen for a phone and radio. I can drive too, but that's the last resource here.
So how many substitute drivers are you using now?
Well, another thing I failed to mention, we got 6 people out of work in Scott now, that doesn't help.
Okay.
But we have we were allocated 10, what we call full-time subs, and we probably have 4 of them now available as subs because the other 6 are
Filling in.
on long-term assignments. So we have about 4, and then you have, 2 field trips or athletic trips from Fernley Beach High School, and 1 from the middle school, and 1 from Yulee High School, and 2 from the middle school, and you can see how that, you run short in a hurry. But we got good people, they bend over backwards to get it done. And we get them all to school and home so far.
Wonderful.
And we're very lucky in our accidents this week. There was no serious student, only one student transported, and she was released, at the mercy. Our worst wreck was one 11-year-old student on it, and he was fine. So we're lucky to say our prayers about that every night.
Yes, sir.
I also want to give props that I hear that Jeffrey Bunch, he was actually.
Yes, sir. He was one of the first responders.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Because he has been a first responder. And even when I got there, the driver had been removed from the pickup, but they were cutting the passenger out, and he was not doing good. They're both still in the ICU as far as I know. One of them is stable and one of them is critical condition. But one thing, school bus is like it was for me used to ride it, is they're tough as a tank. You don't want to run into a school bus. Any other questions?
No, sir, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.